Good day, everyone. My name is Dr. Tio, and you're welcome to another episode of Seco Direct. Today, we are going to continue the way we have been doing regarding medical tests, routine testing that is needed to be done at various healthcare providers. And today, we're exploring the importance of routine medical testing to maintain your optimal health. Now, moving forward, we need to understand that medical tests and what we are doing this for is to show you the need to be proactive in terms of your health. So that is why medical tests are important. The medical tests are important to make sure that they diagnose illnesses, diagnose health conditions, to make sure that you are ready on things that you need to be on so that it does not affect you long term. So what does routine medical testing mean? So as a person, when we say routine, we're saying you should make it a lifestyle. You should make sure that you do this medical test. Maybe you can do them once a month. You can do them over a period of 4 times a year, for instance. So that's when we say it is routine. You should do it within intervals. So now, typically a problem that arises when we say do routine tests, make sure that you do this routine test. People usually say, but I'm not sick, but I'm not ill. But we are trying to change that dynamic when it comes to the typical Nigerian mindset when it comes to healthcare. It is not about, oh, I'm not ill. It's about, oh, let me know what my health status is as of right now so that I know what to do moving forward. So I know, okay, for instance, if my blood sugar is high, but it's not yet as high to be a diabetic, I know, okay, because I've already gone to do this test to see and figure out this is where I am at, I know, okay, all I just need is to exercise. All I just need is to eat better, to sleep better. So that is what we are trying to get the Nigerian mind to be when it comes to proactive measure and doing routine testing. Another issue that might arise might be people saying, oh, routine testing, where is the time to engage or do this routine test? When is the time to go to the hospital? The hospitals are usually having long lines and everything. So that's why routine test is usually in your hands. It's over a period of 1 year. Routine testing, we should look at it as, okay, I'm doing this for myself. So if I'm doing this for myself, I can find 1 day in 3 months to just check my health status. So 1 day in 3 months, I would assume is not too much of a stretch on your schedule. So that's what we want everyone to think about. Okay, this routine test I'm doing, it is for me. I want to know what is wrong with me, or what maybe not is even wrong with me, for instance, but I want to know that I am sure that nothing is wrong with me. So doing it 1 time in 3 months, or maybe 4 times in a year, that would also be beneficial, because you've put yourself in a position where if somebody can ask you, there are also another example that you will never know that it can come up is when you get a new job, for instance, and they ask you, oh, what's your blood type? Because you've instinctively done this test and you've made it a lifestyle, it is easier for you to say, oh, I'm O positive, or oh, I'm AA, for instance. So those because you have already gotten ahead to what you know or how you know your status is health-wise, it is easier for you to bring up those answers. Routine tests in Nigeria are usually trivialized because most people want to be reactive. They want to go to the hospital only when they feel that something is wrong with them. So most of the time, routine testing is trivialized. I can give an example, for instance. When somebody is suffering from hiccups, the typical thing to think about is, oh, I just need to drink water, it will go. But if you've had this routine testing as a lifestyle, as something that you typically go to the hospital to get your blood tests done, or to check your x-rays, or to check how your chest is feeling, or these things already, what a hiccups entails, or what it could mean. But if you don't get ahead of it and you have hiccups, going to the hospital after having those hiccups will have a negative effect on you, because that will be the very first time you have heard something like your kidneys are not driving out the waste products in your body well. Now, for us saying you should be proactive, if, for instance, you already had something indicative of this, because your organs, the way they work, is not like they just shut down immediately. It's a slow process. Some things might have happened previously that will kick those processes to continue going. But You that you have been proactive and you're proactive with your lifestyle and proactive with your health, you go to the hospital not because you have hiccups. You just go to the hospital because you want to check your body, check how your organs are doing. You are in a position where you would notice that something might go wrong, other than you being someone that has hiccups going to the hospital when something has already gone wrong. It's a juxtaposition of being a proactive person with your medical health and a reactive person in your medical health. Being proactive is just what is best compared to being a reactive person with your medical health. And that is what we want to imbibe into the traditional Nigerian mind. And that is what is beneficial. Now, another thing that people could bring up is, what is it financially? How can they what's the price? How come? What's going on? If I want to say I want to check my whole body, wouldn't that be too pricey for me? Now, the thing with that is, when you are proactive and you are very particular about your health, you do the due diligence. You go to those hospitals. You know which hospitals offer what test at what prices. And also, there are hospitals and healthcare providers that give packs that are developing in terms of price ranges. So if you even go to a hospital and say, oh, this is what I can do, there's usually a package for that. Maybe there are some hospitals that have like bronze packages, silver packages, and gold packages. Now, when you have that proactiveness of like, okay, I'm going to the hospital and I'm just doing this because of me to check out what it is. And this is not something I need to do rush or do something, or that has to be extremely important for me to do. At least you can plan ahead to do those tests. You can go ahead, okay, it's going to cost me this amount of money. So I know, okay, this is May now. By July, I'll be able to do this test because I know this is what it's going to be. And I'll just go there when everything is fine and I'll do it. And juxtapose that to, or compare that to, if it is an emergency, something has happened that is completely wrong and you are in no position to financially support that test that needs to be done. It puts you in a position where if you had known what it was prior to when it became an emergency, you would have planned ahead for executing those blood tests or executing the test that was needed to be done, compared to if it's an emergency where you have to pay for it regardless of how you feel or regardless of how you feel financially at that particular time. So that these are different ways where you have to look at it. Oh, let me look at my health from a proactive standpoint. Let me look at it like, okay, let me get ahead of things. Let it not be that is when I am ill that I have to go to the hospital. You understand? So most people also have this whole idea of, why should I go to the hospital when I know nothing is wrong with me? Why should I go to the hospital when I know I'm feeling fine, I jog, I run, I'm able to do things without any impediments or anything. Now, yes, that might look it when it comes to how you feel within you, but it's already been stated in medicine that there are different types of ailments that are usually described as silent killers. For instance, we have hypertension. Hypertension does not have symptoms that will alarm you. There are different ailments that don't come with symptoms. They just appear. And when they appear and have symptoms, something has gone terribly wrong. I've given the example of hypertension. Hypertension, you would not even know that you're hypertensive until something goes wrong, especially if you are not on drugs or if you don't even know that you are hypertensive. Sometimes you will just be like, oh, I have headaches. You self-medicate and then you're like, oh, the headaches have gone. But you don't know the implication over the long run because you didn't know that the cause of that headache is hypertension. So that's why you have to be proactive. Even if you think, oh, I feel good, I feel nice, I run around, I'm active, so why do I need to go to the hospital at that point? You would be what they call a reactive person with your medical lifestyle. You have to be proactive because even when everything seems fine, you have to just understand that I'm not doing this to scare myself. I'm not scaring myself to say, oh, I'm going to find something. I didn't feel any way before I went to the hospital. Now I've gone to the hospital. They've told me I have this thing now. Now I'm scared. And no, that's not how you should approach being proactive with your medical lifestyle. Going to the hospital and them telling you, okay, maybe you are liable to get something. It's not them telling you, oh, if you didn't come to the hospital, you wouldn't have known this thing. Yes, if you didn't come to the hospital, you wouldn't have known this. But it is better you know now because it has not progressed to somewhere that it is harmful to you. And that is just the basis of being a proactive person. If there's nothing wrong, at least I know my medical lifestyle as it is perfectly. And if there is something wrong, at least I know I've gotten it to when it becomes something that would be inherently dangerous to me over time. So to you that you're watching this podcast today, if you have not been doing your tests, I hope I've given you reasons, different advantages, and I hope I've given you a reason to know that you have to be a proactive person when it comes to your medical lifestyle. Today presents an opportunity for you to change. Do you want to go to the hospital when things have become an emergency, or do you want to go to make sure that you know where you are regarding your medical lifestyle? The choice is yours, and I've made it clear for you that being proactive with your medical lifestyle is what is best for you and is what will do you good in the long run. So this concludes another episode of Seco Direct. I remain your host, Dr. Tiwa. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you very much for being with us. I'll see you some other time.